Alright, so we're up here in the San Bernardino Mountains, guys, and painting this house. Again, this is going to go all flat with no enamel going on here, but it's peeling pretty bad. Hillside home with a 6 and 12 or 8 and 12. I think it's 8 and 12. Maybe more than that. I don't know. It's a pretty steep roof. And that side's obviously not. That's like a 4 and 12. But it's got some weird gables. You got hillside issues here. You gotta dig your ladders in. It's a fun one. Of course, the north side's not peeling like the other side. South side gets some sun. Also gets snow on that deck. So we gotta do the right thing and get rid of the peeling paint. Down here we'll do some priming. Even though we're using self-priming, 100% acrylic on, mountain homes, we always, T111, it'll stick pretty well to that, but, you still want to use a good primer. So we're using Primezol from Vista Paint. So we got all these beams to clean up. Deck's already been done about last year. So let's show you guys what's happening. So you got a couple bi-level, got peeling down here. It's all got to get prepped. So yeah, it's a bit of work here. So anyway, thought I'd bring you guys along for part of it. I don't know if we'll do the whole thing. I don't think I'm going to be here for the whole thing. So just wanted to show you guys our prep work we do. Guys, the winter we had huge snowfall, was over up to the eaves here. There's so much snow. So yeah, it just anywhere. See, look at Durham's rock putty, and if you put that on there, you got to make sure it's really dry before you put it on. That's what they put on, these knot holes. Honestly, if you can, stay away from that. Prime it. Like prime all these, and if you want to make it look a little nicer, you just take caulking and a putty knife, and then that'll stay on there forever. This here will just pop off like that. Once it's primed, this should be okay. But you should let this stuff dry really good. And a lot of people don't let it dry long enough. It takes a long time for Durham's rock putty to dry. So, oh, look at this. So we got right here, extension ladder out there, 12-foot A-frame on each side. These are fun to do. Yeah, fascias. The fun part though, guys, is gonna be that fireplace. And that's I think it's an 8.5, 12. We're using a 32-foot ladder from down there. Go up. We may end up having to use another ladder on top of that, but what you do is just tie it on there with tie it to the other ladder, because you're not really standing on it. You're just using it to position yourself. So you put one ladder all the way down to the way the heck out there so that it's flat with the roof. It's like we're doing on this part. I'll show you. We got Travis up there. It's not going to kick out because it's going uphill. On the other side it would, so you have to have weight, someone standing on the bottom, and go up like this. You can see the ladder there. That's how you work a hillside home. And this side here, you'd have to have maybe 2 people standing on the bottom of it, because you go up that high, there's a lot of potential for that to kick out. And dig it in the ground. Put the ladder inside holes, and then stand on it. And then we'll have to go all the way up, the ladder up here on either side of that fireplace, okay? And reach out through the sides of it. Do the side here, and the other side. And if we don't have if our ladder only goes up to, say, right here, bring another ladder, extension ladder, up on top of that, and use tie downs to hold them together. And it's just setting on the roof. All it is just like a plank system to walk on. You're not putting any weight on that ladder. So you tie it up with tie downs, and you can use it to go up. That's how we do it. But it may not be really OSHA safe, but it's plenty safe. It's just how it's done. And you got to walk on the ladder, the ladder rungs. And then we also, at the same time, we'll put a rope over the top right here. Like he'll use that ladder setup he's on. And we'll tie off to that tree over there and throw a rope over the roof. And also the person that's up there will be tied off with a harness. So that's how we do it. Totally not 100% safe, no risk. We don't do anything that's risky, so you shouldn't do that. But I got all these prep to do here on these windows. It's over here, same thing we're doing over there. I'll bring you back in. All right, so it's scraped right here already, but you can see that right there, that's water stains. If you don't prime it, those are going to come back through. I'm going to give that a quick prime. Ain't doing too much. This is not a focal area, so down here we are not going to go crazy. Just going to get this thing so it'll paint a stage on it and won't be water stained. That's about as good as you can get for something down here. All right, let's get on it and get it done. We got here between 7:30 and 8. This is how far we've gotten so far. It's 10:40, so let's just give you an idea. 3 guys prepping, you know, walked all this wall here. We got to do a little more priming over there, but let's take a look down here. We got down here, get all this done. So again, we primed up where the wood was cracked. We may not need to back roll it now, because usually if you roll it once, that's usually good enough, especially if you use primer. Primer really is thick and goes into the cracks if you use a good primer. You know, Kills is too thin, guys. You know, it works. If you want to buy that, you know, if that's all you got, it'll get the job done, but you probably have to put 2 coats to get what you get with 1 coat of this stuff. I mean, look at how well that filled in the cracks there. Pretty good. Still got to do this little section here and around the corner, and then they're working up there where the sanders are running. A lot of prep on that wall too, so I'll bring you back in a little bit. Up here fixing all these cracks here. All these you gotta caulk them in. So hard to do while we're up on this ladder. Caulk these in here. Left-handed. Oh man, it's fun up here. And that's steeper. So there's one guy on this job less than 55 years old. And this is where we're at. We got all this stuff primed, sanded, everything's electric sanded. That's had any peeling stuff. Let's look at the other sides. Got the windows covered up on the high ones, which are the hardest ones always, right? So we got right here all this done. You know, this stuff here we'll probably have to do a little back rolling on that because it's a little cracked. I don't know if it's worth hitting with primer. This side of the house isn't really that focal. One by the front door sure is, and we're making that one just look really nice. So this wall is not too bad. Just probably while we're up there, just bring a scraper with you and finish it up there. But all the base of it was kind of bad, so we got all that all scraped, primed. And there's Johnny back here with a sander. All those beams, he's been working on those. He's got one of them done, or two. So we got a few more to do. So you see that? That's all prepped right there. Those two. Sanded. Same thing we're going to do on all these. All the younger crew. You know, the worst thing you can do is send a brand new guy and have him do prep and not work with him. If you got a brand new guy, you got to show him how to do the prep the right way. They'll either do too much or not enough, and I mean sometimes doing too much is okay, I guess, in some respects, but when you do stuff that actually makes the surface worse, and that's too much. You know, sometimes guys do that. I've seen some guys do that, but this is actually the right way to do it for flat. You know, for 100% acrylic self-priming flat, we're still, even though it's self-priming, we still use primer on the bad stuff. And yeah, all right, yeah, 1 entire gallon this primer all over this thing for prep. Mostly what we're worried about is if the snow loads get up high, which occasionally they did last year. They got, I mean, every once in a while they get 5 feet of snow up here. So, I mean, it can be, last year it was even more. I don't know what they got, but it was up above the windows. And just all that moisture on the wall. If the knots are not pretty well filled in, then it might, you know, cause issues. But up higher shouldn't be a problem really if it's not completely every knot's filled in. But that's why we're doing that area. And the same thing down here. This was covered in snow all the way up to the windows. So yeah, we want to make sure it's pretty good. At least lasts them a couple years. About 6-7 years up here, 8 years at the most. And that's about all you get usually. I did one up here and it lasted 20 years. But that's kind of not the usual. I mean, it just depends. I mean, I did one bed and breakfast up in Big Bear, and it lasted a solid 20. It was more than 20 years, and I was up there looking at it, and I go, God, did you repaint this? And he goes, no, all I've done is touch it up. Looked like it did right when I was done. That's what happens when you do it right, I tell you guys. All right, that's it for the prep day, guys. So that's it for one day. All the windows massive, they're up high. Just got a couple windows to do. They'll get over here tomorrow and spray the whole thing out. Another day of trim and be out of here.